Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do today is to go through a book, and the book that I've selected for today's episode is entitled Hello Habits, a Minimalist's Guide to a Better Life, a book that was published on the 5th of January 2021 by an author who goes by the name of Fumio Sasaki. This book explores the science and philosophy behind building good habits and breaking bad ones, drawing on his personal experience as well as psychological research. Sasaki provides a practical guide for anyone looking to make lasting change in their lives. This book emphasizes the importance of small yet consistent actions and reframes the concept of habits as tools for self-improvement rather than burdens. So let's step through this book, see what we can learn, see what we can add to our own inventory of skills, knowledge, wisdom, and potential power. And the first key lesson to come from this author is the importance of starting small and make it easy. Sasaki emphasizes that the key to forming habits is to start with small, manageable actions. By lowering the barrier to entry, what we do is we actually reduce resistance and increase the likelihood of sustainable success. For example, the author says, if you want to start exercising, begin with just a minute or two each day, because small wins build momentum and create a foundation for larger changes over time. When it's all said and done, the author reminds us that habits actually shape who you actually are. Because habits aren't just things we do, they define who we become. And Sasaki explains that our daily actions are a reflection of our identity. And by building good habits, we're actually aligning our actions with the person who we want to be. And each small habit reinforces the sense of self, making long-term transformation possible. Another message from this book is that repetition, believe it or not, repetition is more important than motivation. One of the key insights from Hello Habits is that consistency matters far more than motivation or willpower. Instead, of waiting for inspiration to strike. Commit to repeating any action daily, no matter how small it may be, because over time the behavior becomes automatic and requires less mental effort. We also need to be cognizant and to not rely on willpower alone, because willpower, believe it or not, is finite. And Sasaki argues that relying solely on willpower to form habits is a recipe for failure. Instead, focus on designing your environment and routines to make the desired behavior easier. For instance, if you want to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and remove the junk food from easy reach. Another important lesson that comes from this powerful book is where we look at the power of habit stacking. Sasaki introduces the concept of habit stacking, where you pair a new habit with an existing one. By linking the new behavior to something you already do regularly, what you're actually doing is you're creating a trigger that makes it much easier to remember and perform the new habit. For example, if you want to start praying, you could do it right after you brush your teeth every morning. Another important message that's worth focusing on is the author here reminds us that we need to embrace imperfection and failure. Forming habits isn't about perfection, it's more about progress. And once again, Sasaki reminds readers that missing a day or slipping up is inevitable, but it doesn't mean that you failed. Instead of giving up, simply recommit to the habit the next day. The key is to develop what the author calls resilience and not let small setbacks derail your overall progress. The author also says that we must focus on progress and not be too focused on the outcome, rather than obsessing over results. Sasaki encourages readers to fall in love with the process of building habits. When you focus on the journey, whether it's writing, exercising, or learning a new skill, you're more likely to stick to it. The results will come naturally as a byproduct of consistent and applied effort. We need to use positive reinforcement, and the author Sasaki highlights the importance of rewarding yourself for sticking to your habits. Positive reinforcement strengthens the association between the habit and a sense of satisfaction, making it more likely to stick. This doesn't have to be a big reward. It could be as simple as celebrating a small win or acknowledging your effort. We need to harness the power of social influence, and the people we surround ourselves with have a significant and powerful impact on our habits. Sasaki advises leveraging social accountability and positive peer pressure to support productive habit formation. For example, joining a group with similar goals or sharing your progress with friends can have and create a sense of responsibility and motivation to stay consistent. And the last key message to come from this book is that you need to focus on habits as a lifestyle, not a quick fix. And Sasaki reframes habits as long-term investments in your happiness and your well-being, instead of viewing them as a temporary measure to achieve a specific goal. Think of habits as an integral part of your lifestyle. This mindset shift helps you prioritize sustainability and consistency over the short-term outcomes. So this book, Hello Habits by Fumio Sasaki, provides a refreshing and minimalist approach to habit formation by emphasizing small, consistent actions and focusing on the process rather than the outcome. He offers practical strategies for creating meaningful change in your life. This book is a reminder that habits aren't just tools for productivity. They are a way to align your daily actions with your values and your aspirations. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, and I look forward to coming to you again with another message of empowerment and hopefully showcasing more of this beautiful, beautiful country that we live in. Take care. Bye for now.